Bastards. Welcome back to the Zero Strategy Podcast. Thank you for joining us today, guys.
We just like warming up with a little throat singing from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't, right?
It's a thing. It's a thing. That and some kombucha.
I think the overlay needs to go. Oh my God, Condi. Oh God.
I'm working on it. I'm working on
Don't
it.
drag it with your little mittens. Use the arrows to just nudge it.
Oh
Just
my.
nudge it.
Don't break shit.
His
Yeah, just
little
nudge it.
mittens.
That looks
His
good.
little mittens. Oh my.
I got it. I
For
got
our
it.
audio
my.
listeners at home, Connie's using his wee paws to to manipulate the overlay so that it looks good on Twitch.
It looks fine. It looks fine now. All right, I fixed it. I didn't tell you guys this, but this is kind of a big episode because this is episode number 50.
Episode number 50. Episode 50.
Yeah, we're now like a broadcast radio show with Humps and the gang.
Let's start your morning off, your morning commute with the Gator and the Cooter.
The gator and the gooter cooter.
What the fuck is that?
The gator cooter.
Anyway, I am joined today by my co-hosts. We have Unholy Cyber.
Hi.
We have Grog Mode.
Hello.
We have Eve, Medibot Eve.
Gang signs.
And we have Sir Humps.
Sir Holmes.
So as always, guys, if you're watching live on the stream and you have any ideas for topics or questions for us, please throw them in the chat and we will try and get to them as we go through. We always start off with just a brief catch up with everyone. So Cyber, how has your week been? What have you been up to? Tell us all about it.
This week's been shit for me.
All right, skip cyber.
Yeah, my mental status has just went super low. I don't know if you saw my Twitter posts last week. I actually used the words, "You left me unsupervised," so it's not really my fault. Yeah, that kind of blew up in my face this week. So work's been shit. But I move soon. So I'm
You
happy.
telling me that
What are they gonna
telling
do,
supervisors
fire
that you left to be, in my defense, you left me unsupervised, ergo vis-a-vis concordantly, is not my fault what happened. Like, this is your fault. Like, you thought that was going to turn out positively?
Fine.
But it did.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I thought you said it turned bad.
No, like the whole situation kind of blew up in my face, but just that small element of me chancing my
Oh,
luck.
that small moment
that
was a
fine.
win.
Yeah.
When it just... Okay, yeah, celebrate the win. That's what I'm talking about.
Like
So
I
are
was
they just not writing a job recommendation for you, or like?
No, they
How
fucking
bad?
need me. They've actually given me another position while I'm in Canada that I work 4 hours for the same amount of pay because they need me apparently.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like,
That's not a bad deal.
okay, I'll take it.
Wait, please tell me that you broke some integral part of the process that only you know how to fix. And then you hold them
Oh
ransom,
my gosh, genius.
basically.
Oh my gosh, genius. I call that the iPhone defense or the iPhone plan, you know what I mean? It's like,
I
yeah,
plead
you
the
need
fifth.
your iPhone magically stops fucking working after 2 years. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
All right, Grog, how's your week been?
I'm fucking exhausted, dude.
Yeah.
Um,
Keeping it nice and
gotta
cheery
say-
for episode 50.
don't. You're getting Darth Grog right now. I haven't had a beer in months, and this is
Oh.
as close as I get to
What
being.
the
Brother.
fuck is
Luffy,
wrong
so
with you?
Brother,
I just
go get one
I-
now. Go get one now.
I don't
Now.
have
I have
one.
some
What?
I
wine
don't
here.
have one.
Okay, Dryad, where are you?
Where you at?
Get this man a beer.
I
Anyway,
know.
the
I mean, I know where you're at.
DoorDash.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Not sponsored.
Should be though.
I'm all right. I'm folks, just don't take a nap in the evening and then wake up at 10 p.m. and then decide, you know what? I'm almost 40. I should just stay awake till the next day. Because
Oh,
that's not a
ew!
good
Don't
idea.
ever say that again.
Yeah.
Over almost 40. Grog, stop it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No,
This podcast is actually like, it's kind of like I don't know if you guys seen Sons of Anarchy, but like it's like an MC, right? Motorcycle club, right? It's the rules of the club. You can't be in the club if you can't ride anymore. I feel like the podcast should be like, once you're over the hill, you no longer are relevant.
I can still talk.
Sure. So can my
voice
senile
works.
grandmother, but you know.
She thinks it's World War II currently.
It's we're a 69% motorcycle
Hey,
club.
that's the mother.
I can get behind that.
That's
no,
a
this
that's a
week's been-
tiring percent, honestly, if you think about it. Like it's just a lot of that's a percent just it's too much work.
It's about reciprocation, Humps.
I know,
This
I know.
week's been good. I've been playing more Apex this week, and I've been playing more Rocket League too. Getting into
Oh, they
both
made
of those
another one?
games. Yes, Rocket League as well, not Rocket League the sequel. But yeah, things are good. Eve, how's your week?
Blah. Well, keeping with your guys' attitude, earlier in the week was bad, but today it's been good since then. So
Since
Yeah.
today, it's like
Yeah.
8 o'clock,
Since-
9 o'clock. I've been up for
The
an
rest of
hour
the
and a half.
week's
It's
been been
been great.
no, yeah, the
Had my
majority
morning
of this week has been good. That's
constitutional.
what I meant to say. Yeah. I've also been playing some Rocket League.
Ooh. Tell me more.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, it's
No,
this
we don't
game
stand
about
that song, but
cars.
I know. Sorry.
That's a bad song.
You know
I know.
what?
Like
That's a
car
song.
football, right?
That's a song.
Yeah, it's car football.
Yeah.
Did
Storm
Grog,
Breeze.
did you
Car
did you see
footy.
the picture that I put in the Discord of my old account?
Your old footy pick?
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
super try hard.
Mm-hmm. Skulls everywhere. It's very, very on brand.
Oh, yeah.
Are you interested?
Hey, Humps, how are you?
Are you interested in being in my
No.
team, Cyber, for a little bit of an event?
Oh yeah.
Sure,
If you're on there, you're gonna be on the team that gets stomped.
Well, you'll.
We'll get into it in a
wait,
minute. We'll get into
wait,
it in a
No,
minute.
no.
Okay.
We'll get into it right now. How many is it per team?
3v3.
3.
Right. Okay. I'll bring my challenger buddy. Right. And it'll be me and you. How about that?
Why is this the first
What?
time I'm hearing
What?
about this? Are you guys ignoring invites
we'll
once
get
again?
right.
Is this is like almost as a common of a topic as DMCA at this point. Like you guys just constantly ditching me. Cyber only plays
Well,
3
to
times
be
a
fair-
year, and
to
he gets
be
an
fair,
invite.
Yeah,
To be
dude.
fair,
Jesus Christ!
Condi challenged Grog, and then I just
No.
accidentally got swept up into it.
No, I challenged
I'm-
Shark.
I am
Oh.
100% down.
Oh,
with
and
Conor.
then Shark
We'll
recruited
wipe
me as a
all over
ringer.
these bitches.
Yeah, and then I
Right.
gave eyes on a Twitter post, and then that put me as part of the team, and I didn't
gave
realize it. And I was like,
eyes.
oh, cool, okay.
Hey, it's like
I'm
my
down.
dog. If you look at my dog in the eyes, she like gets up and she's just like, "Oh, you want to fuck? Yeah, that's me, pet me." You're like, "Whoa!" I just accidentally made eye contact with you. That's what Eve did, and that's how Condi reciprocated.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. Humps, how's your week been?
My week has been shit. No,
You were literally complaining right before the podcast went live.
well, I mean, I'm sore. I've been very, very busy. As you can see, I didn't have this last podcast. I was getting ready. So the visual peoples, I have a purple mohawk for non-visual people, or if you're watching but you're also blind. Welcome.
considerate
First
of
off,
you.
hello, welcome.
Who invited this guy?
I think technically
Thank
they're
you.
still audio listeners, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, sure, I guess, but I guess you wouldn't say, "Are you watching?"
Oh, okay. This is
Swiftly moving on.
we're going
Anywho.
down a really weird
Yeah, it's
ableist.
fun. It's
All right,
fun.
go on.
We're good.
Go
We're
on.
having
Go on.
fun.
Go on.
We're having fun.
Mohawks.
So you have a purple
Mohawks,
mohawk.
thank you. I have a purple mohawk. That's really the gist of what's going on here. I have a purple mohawk. Arcade Riot loves it, who is Grog's wife, and she's leaving him
Say it,
for
Grog,
my
Grog,
mohawk. Not
Grog.
for me, just the mohawk.
Say the thing. Grog,
Holy
What?
shit!
say the thing.
What thing?
My wife. That
My
thing-
wife.
Anyway.
God, I was fucking
But no,
waiting.
it's been a very busy week. So it was part of a community challenge in my stream channel. We raised all the points, and then we vote on the color on a Twitter poll. It was between dyed gray, not natural gray, the dyed gray.
So basically the same hair color.
Yes, just more consistent, I guess. I don't know, just to kind of even it out. It's like a touch of gray, but in reverse, you know, to where like it just like levels you out. And then we picked purple, so purple won, and that's what we did. But other than that, I've been streaming again this week. Not as much as I wanted to. I've been super busy, man. So I haven't really said. Oh, that's a podcast. I don't give a shit. So the reason I've been super busy is I've had a lot of stuff to do around the house because I no longer have a job. I quit.
Hey.
It's been a few weeks
To be
now.
fair, this is a thing to celebrate, not like he got shit canned and we're just like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
unemployed.
You got fired, bitch.
No,
Unemployed little bitch.
It was 100% a good thing.
You fucking suck at work.
And it's been a few weeks now. Well, a couple weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks. I didn't really want to make a big deal about it because it's not really my accomplishment. Like I'm benefiting out of it, but you know, it's my wife's accomplishment. You know, she runs her own business. She fucking kicks ass at it, and one of her main goals
Join
for this
the club, brother.
hell yeah, I know. I'm excited. But one of her main goals for her business was to be in a position to where I could no
Be a house
longer
bitch.
have to do things to support the family, and I can spend my time trying to find things that I actually want to do, which is, you know, sweet and nice and all that bullshit. And you know, I love my
Can we
wife.
start a
all that
Twitter
garbage.
account called
My wife.
Dudes Celebrating Their Wife's W's?
Yeah, that's what it should be. Because that's really why I was hesitant to really make a big deal of it. Because it's like I said, it's her accomplishment. So that's actually why I should be making a big deal. So congratulations to my wife,
My wife.
My wife.
My wife.
Madam Humps on here. I think TikTok follower. You know, was I think mint_giraffe. Why not? I don't know. But yeah, so we cleaned out the garage yesterday. I rented a U-Haul truck and 2 full U-Haul trucks of garbage and boxes out of the garage to the dump yesterday. So I was very sore and tired, but it's been great. I haven't done this much stuff in so long. I have been go since I got off work and no longer had to, and it's been fantastic. I don't know. It's been great.
Good. I'm glad. At least someone's had a good week.
How about you, Candy?
How's your week been?
Yeah, I actually think my week's been not too bad. Thank you very much. What have we been doing? Apex ranked. Myself, Grog, and Humps are the absolute dream team at Apex.
Pretty good.
Yeah, absolute dream team. So we've been having a lot of fun. I uploaded like 2 YouTube videos this week, which is nuts. I'm proud of myself. I actually took some time. I cut the streams back a little bit to focus on some editing. So that's been really, really good. I kind of feel like I'm in a really nice spot right now where I have content sort of backlogged. I've got, you know, footage saved on my computer that I'm like, I'm going to make a video out of this. And I just need to find the time to sit down and edit it. So that kind of feels good to know that I do have stuff sitting there or just waiting to be, you know, worked on to upload. So
Yeah.
that's nice. I've been slacking on other things. Like I haven't posted a TikTok in like over a month, I think. And like, you know, there's other things that are definitely falling behind, but it's been good. I'm getting new alerts for the channel done and just making a bunch of
Nice.
changes. So that's been nice. I streamed Valheim this morning because honestly, that's been a big part of why I haven't been streaming as much, because I just want to play Valheim all the time, just constantly.
That was a bit of a shit show that I saw today. It was just Dale dying over and over again and
Yeah.
trying to find a body.
Yeah, it can be stressful at times, but it's such a good game, and the content that's coming for it in terms of like the roadmap of what they got coming for updates sounds amazing. And I mean, it's an early access game. It cost me what, 20 quid, not even. And I've already put over 100 hours into it in like 2 weeks. Like it is
20 squids.
like
So I'm
the
assuming
best
it-
value for money like I've had in a while.
Is it the same kind of premise as like Rust or like any other type of game like that?
A survival game?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, you're a Viking. You're in the Viking
I
afterlife.
am. That's actual truth.
It drops you in there with nothing, and you've got to, you know,
Do you start naked?
not completely naked.
So you
I
don't
do.
start
You,
flopping.
you meant you, not the character.
Yeah, do you start playing in the morning nude?
Yes, yes, I do.
Well, I'll
Um,
never tell.
But yeah, I mean, you very in the same sort of way like Minecraft. You cut down trees, you build stuff, you upgrade your weapons and armor, and there's bosses to go and fight, and you can play
Okay.
with up to 10 people in a server. They're talking about bumping it up to like having servers of like 99 players and stuff.
Oh wow.
The map is huge. It's all randomly generated. It's really fun, and like it's the biggest time sink. There's I think almost every day this week. Like my wife said to me, said to me like,
My wife.
I want to play Valheim, and I'm like, okay, but I need to go to bed early tonight, so we have to set a strict, you know,
Oh my god, you're already at this stage.
a strict
You have an
time.
alarm to go to bed.
Yeah, bro, but like it doesn't matter because the alarm goes and I'm like, I just have to do one more thing. I just have to do one more thing. And then it's like, oh great, it's like 2 a.m. and I have to get up in 5 hours. Like, you know, it keeps happening.
You sound like you're 40 years old.
I feel it.
What happened to the good?
Hey.
What happened to the good old days?
Yeah, whoa.
Thing is, no.
Whoa.
He sounds like he's 40. Grog sounds like he's 20. Right?
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Did you forget Grog's story at the start of the podcast? How he
stayed
took
up
a
all
nap
night?
and then couldn't sleep.
I took
We
a-
all love a good nap,
I
right?
took a nap in my favorite chair, in my favorite house shoes.
With my
dog
house
Scar
coat
with
on,
me.
Farted myself.
in front of the
Are you
fire
watching
with a
me?
cigar and a scotch.
I do have house shoes.
Anyway.
Fake
Colored.
Crocs.
Anyway, yes, I'm obsessed with Valheim, and my
God.
new addiction is I've been buying Pokemon cards. I-
I've unfortunately have
I
noticed this
can't stop.
trend on your channel.
Dude, I can't stop. It's so bad, and I need to just cut myself off. But like, I was like, hey, we're gonna make content out of this. So like, I bought like a box, and I was like, I'm just gonna open this on stream, and it was really fun. And again, I just cut that up for a YouTube video. 1 of 10, baby. 1 of 10. I was like, this is it. I'm just gonna be a Pokemon channel from now on.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Yeah.
That's an idea, brother. That's what I'm talking about. You should do that.
Well, you know, it's just variety, a bit of different,
Oh, I know.
a
I'm
bit of
just
different
fucking with
stuff. It's been really nice. And I have an excuse to be like, well, I bought these Pokemon cards to open on my stream, so
you. Well, I mean,
So
so are you gonna
write them off for taxes?
with that Poke that you got a couple weeks ago? Sorry, what are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna keep it? Are you gonna?
I haven't
So
decided
you would-
yet. I haven't
Yeah.
decided because we pulled a quite an expensive.
Because I know it's
Card.
pretty rare and it's worth a good
Oh,
decent amount of
yeah.
money. But
Big
I mean, I
fat
feel like it's
Pikachu.
not as like you could
This
probably
big fat ass.
yeah. Was it the big Pikachu? whatever
Big
it
fat
is,
rainbow
yeah.
Pikachu. Yeah,
The hologram or holographic one.
Isn't that worth
It's a
quite a lot of money?
rainbow
Like,
rarity
it's like
Thank you.
Rainbow.
400 £400
That's
approximately.
not too bad, man.
It probably
one
weighs
card.
more than that.
How much was the pack?
Honestly,
Like
VMAX
5.
Pikachu is like almost
Yeah, that's a
100
good
feet
return.
tall.
Okay.
I'm sure it weighs more than 400 pounds.
Okay, thank you, Eve. Thank you.
Just drink your tomato soup and shut up.
Tomato soup. Your tomato soup.
But yes, anyway, it's been nice. I've been doing a lot of different things and trying to get better at geoguessing and all sorts. We have a bit of a like little event coming up where I challenged one of my moderators, Shark, a suspicious shark, to a Rocket League match, and I said to her, "You pick 2 teammates, I'll pick
Likes
2
pain.
teammates." And we'll have some kind of wager on it. We'll do like a best of 5 or something like that. So I'm yet to decide on my team. I'm working on it.
Who'd she pick?
She picked
Me.
Grog and Eve,
I know.
which, frankly, I'm a
We've
little,
been training.
I'm a little upset that they were both so keen to jump into the opposing team against me.
Well, I
So
don't
Geo
want
gets
to
an
lose.
Rocket
Pretty
League?
par for the course, really, right? I mean, I feel like
I'm working
no
on.
other option.
I'm working
I
on
don't know.
trying
I mean,
to.
the last time you and I played, it was really a close match.
I won one round against you. Don't forget that. I have a strong feeling Grog let me win that for the
You
content.
scored
So it
3
came
own
down to
goals in that last game.
okay, yeah, okay.
Wait, did he?
And they're
He did.
against himself.
Okay, I'm gonna change my mind. I don't
It
want to
was
be on your team anymore.
7-0. It was 7-0 was the final game.
Yes, okay.
7.
At a certain
Nice.
point, though,
Four
I
of
just
those
gave up.
goals.
What I'm working on is I need to find out Eve's price
Wait.
to throw
using
for me.
Bubbles is cheating.
Why is
too
using
good, you
bubbles
can't use him.
cheating? He's too good?
Yeah, you can't use him.
Do it.
It's
it.
fine. I'm
I'll
going to
fight
recruit.
Bubbles.
I'm going to hold a tryout, and I'm going to get the best players I
Ooh,
possibly
that's actually
can.
not bad, right?
Yeah, there's
Gandhi, you don't
context.
need to
for
try
you.
out.
That is
Just-
content. I
just-
think it really
Just,
is.
just recruit Bubbles right now.
This week, I'm
Yeah,
just going to
he's
do
your
a
best
tryout.
bet.
I'm going to 1v1 people in chat, and whoever beats me the best.
Beats you the best.
Whoever makes me feel the
I love
worst.
that. I love that. Who beats me the best?
Well,
The
we'll do,
top
like-
2 who beat me the best is
Yeah.
gonna be my teammate.
Legit, that's what I'm doing. It's content, and it's the fairest way of doing it. So, yeah, we're gonna hold tryouts.
You can't even say with a
Yeah,
straight face.
I don't know, but it's gonna be fun. That'll be a fun little event. We'll have some sort of wager on
Be
there.
nice.
If I win, then I'll force Shark to tweet out that I am 5'9", just like I got Grog to do through blackmail when we played Apex together. And yeah, that's kind of my plan. So it's gonna be a fun week. I had a bit of a topic I wanted to talk about and get your guys' thoughts on. So I logged into Twitch this morning. I pulled up my dashboard, and I noticed that my follower count had gone down, which is not an unusual thing, except it went down by like 600.
Oh.
So it looks as if Twitch has finally removed those follow bots that I was hit with recently, because it was about 600 I was hit with, and I don't know the exact number I lost. I know that Twitch rounds up the follower count, and I went from 4.4 down to 3.8. So it could be slightly more than 600, give or take. But basically, yeah, Twitch just removed a bunch of those bots, which I think is great. But it did kind of bring up the topic of, like, I remember when I was, a couple of years ago,
A wee
before I
lad.
kind of cared about it, the follower number seemed like a really important thing. And I remember feeling very attached to that number and really letting it affect me when that number didn't change or
if I
went
didn't get as
down.
many follows as last time, then I didn't do a good stream.
Exactly. So I kind of
So-
wanted to give our thoughts on that and talk about it and really just dive into it.
So for context, she lost 538 in total in
Oh, did you
the
check it?
space of 6 minutes.
Well, that's good. I knew it was around that number of that. So there might maybe still be some bots in there, but to me, I'm excited about it now because it means that when I actually do hit 4K, I can actually celebrate that rather than be like, oh, good. The bots got us there.
Big spots.
Well, and Kandi called that out on his stream earlier today. That observation that the bots were gone, and I had been hit with a follow bot last week. I'm pretty sure it like coincided with certain people coming into my chat, and they did it to fuck with me. But long story short, yeah, my numbers are down, and they're down to where they should be. I got hit with like 25 follow bots like within the span of like 2 seconds. Yeah, and the number has reverted itself. So I
Good.
guess Twitch purged it.
Mhm.
This is
Nice.
cool. I mean, because I was like, I forget what number. Yeah, I was coming up on like 500 or something, and like it was gonna be nice to be like, yay, 500. But like obviously that doesn't. It feels cheapened when it's like
Yeah.
a bunch of fucking robots
Sure. Yeah.
showing up.
I'll say just because I have a feeling we're probably going to go into more of like a feelings on this thing. I'll give like just kind of like my analytical thoughts on follower numbers because that's kind of the topic what we're going for right now. Just kind of like
Well, it
Just
kind of brought my attention to it because I remember seeing that number drop and kind of equating that to my value or my content
Okay,
on the stream.
okay.
And I just really wanted to dive into it because I think it's still something that people look at and take to heart way too much, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and so my thoughts on it is like obviously what everyone says like care about, don't worry about it, and we'll get into like probably why people do worry about it, but why you shouldn't worry about it because it doesn't matter. follow numbers, like just think about how many people you follow on Facebook or Twitter. Like it doesn't matter. Like those numbers mean nothing. What matters is who's there. That's all that ever matters is who's there. Those are like the right answers, and they're true answers. It may not always feel like that, and we'll get into that, I'm sure, but the only thing I can get value out of the number, it's the actual number itself, is to get an idea of the relationships, because not like interpersonal relationships, but just like the relationship between numbers. So just in general, if you have like the amount of people that will be in chat, engaged, or active viewing, I mean, it is related to how many people you have follow you. So if you have 1 million followers, like take Glad for instance, over 1 million followers, he only averages 2K probably viewers. I mean, only, but I'm saying in relationship to his followers. That's where you can see it, to where it's like, I think I'm right around 400 followers. And so it's probably, the relationship is true for my average viewers to how many people I have followed. So like, that's the only really data I think you can really gain from it, is like, but at that point, the difference is so vast to where it's like, it's not going to, by the point to where it's like, oh, I now have 1 million followers and my average is 2,000. Like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? By the time that like the data wouldn't even mean anything, you're well past it even mattering, I guess. I don't know.
When I was streaming and first starting to like really dig deeper into what made my channel tick, and trying to make improvements around my schedule and what I do, and how I could just like improve the quality of life for the viewers that come by. I had a talk with Lauren, my wife.
My
and-
wife.
and she made an observation then that I still think is accurate now, and it was purely anecdotal. I mean, it wasn't based on like, oh, I read a bunch of articles and this is what they say about whatever, but like, we have periodically talked about my growth over time, and her observation at the time was like, every time that we would talk about numbers, she'd be like, oh yeah, it's about 10%. And that actually feels about right. It feels about like 10 for whatever your, because I mean, essentially what Humps is saying is right. Yeah, the bigger the net you have, the more likely you're able to catch viewers, and the more likely that you already have a viewer base built in, so that when you simply go live, people will happen to see you. And by the time that it really matters, you're already successful. But it does seem to be true that, based on my experience, it feels like your follower count will translate almost to a rough like 5 to 10% of what you can expect for concurrent viewership live. But it is a number, it is just a number. And like, there are some people who I know that the 5 of us have encountered, will like stress and fret over like that number going down even by like one person. But the thing is that you got to remember that if your follower count goes down by 1 between streams, or or it goes down by 50 over the course of time, that can just happen for any number of reasons, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have your stream has like evolved in a way that is now like you haven't necessarily made a mistake. I mean, one way to look at it is, during like the George Floyd like Black Lives Matter protests, over a year ago, I did like a stream dedicated to Black Lives Matter. I lost followers. Honestly, I see that as a good thing.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
You know what I mean? Like, there's
Yeah.
it's I guess what I'm saying is that numbers can just be a construct. They should not be necessarily the sole metric by which you determine your own success. And I would say that you get a far better read over what you're doing and how you're doing it by simply just your daily engagement with people who
The
do
real
show up.
time data.
Yeah, and just really soliciting like what is making the stream tick for those people. I mean, if you feel like you need a temperature check at any point to say, how am I doing? You know, what do you want to see more of? Just have that discourse with your chat.
For
I
sure.
mean, the
Absolutely.
people who are literally there, present, are the people who are most likely going to give you the best
Those are
feedback
your
of your life.
people, because we always
Yeah.
talk about finding, like, in terms of like the numbers and stuff, like there's always a community out there for you. It may take you, depending on how just this Twitch thing works out for you, it may take shorter, longer to find those people, but everyone has, there's always someone that wants to hang out with you. You know what I mean? There's somewhere, especially in the internet, you can find them. So there's always a place for, I mean, trust me, you go some weird places on the internet. There's a place for everyone. There's a thing that everyone wants to watch, hang out with. So there's a thing that you can find your niche. Niche. Your niche.
Frederick Niche.
Your niche. But yeah, so like, I mean, I guess, you know, so really even like that's why your active number is like your active viewers is so important, because the real-time data can give you can get real-time feedback at, like Grog was saying, asking questions, getting that feedback from your community that's there and watches you regularly. And because that's what's important, because those are the people that you want. Those are the people those are your community. You know what I mean? Like those are the people that found your niche, found you, and those are the people you want to find more of. And so if you can get there,
kept coming back.
yeah,
The
they
thing is, like,
exactly.
I mean, look at Glad. How many of those? I mean, look at any person who has over 100,000 followers. Think about how many of those are accounts that don't get used anymore. Think about how. I mean, you know, there's a lot of just empty space in the vastness of that big number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because people have moved on with their life. Maybe they don't browse Twitch anymore. Maybe their work doesn't allow them to do that. Maybe their family life or personal
But they just
schedule
follow
or
a shit
whatever.
ton of people, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And people move through things, you know, in waves, and like we do with music and clothing and food, like, you know, you have an appetite for something, that appetite diminishes, you move on and you have a greater appetite for something else. Just because somebody's moved on and they've moved past you doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It just means that that person's taste changed,
Yeah,
or that person
exactly.
just wants something different in that moment. You know, I could eat a grilled cheese every single fucking day of the week for the rest of my life. Doesn't mean I should, but you know, not everyone's like that. You know what I mean?
Just
I
to
think you
kind of
should.
flip it on its head, you know, G-Flow, that we had on the
Yeah.
show a few
Mhm.
weeks back. When we were at PAX, I had the opportunity to kind of go along with them with, I won't mention the company's name, but one of the things that I did notice is they never mentioned follower counts at all. Never even asked it. He asked about the community. That metric was never on the tip of the tongue of the
Mhm.
sponsor. And I mean, G-Flow was one of the OGs on Mixer at the time. And I mean, he didn't have the biggest subscriber count, he didn't have the biggest follower count, but the opportunities that he got just because of how good the community was in general opened so many doors for him. Like, I won't dox him too much, but there was a lot of opportunities that he got just in the time that I was like around him at PAX.
Hmm.
So even from like a business standpoint, like a company or a sponsorship, they don't look at followers. Or if they do, it's not the companies that you really want to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot more companies are getting wise to that now, because I feel like there was a bit of a mentality of, you know, if you want a sponsorship or a partnership with this company, you need to have X amount of followers. Whereas I do think companies are being a little smarter now, because anyone can follow bot themselves up to insane amounts of followers, right? I mean,
I think it's almost like systemic though, because a lot of the achievements that we have are built around metrics.
yeah,
Like in order to get affiliate, you need to have a specific amount of followers. To get partnership status on what was Mixer and Twitch and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. It's based around a metric. So we, I think, subconsciously think we need to meet that metric in order to be relevant.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. And that's where probably one of the core issues in lies with like the kind of like the emotional response to it, right? Because like, I mean, if you just think about it completely logically, analytically, and like take all the fear out of it, like, yeah, it's just a number. It means nothing to me. It'll grow as I grow, and that's it. You know, you don't have to think about it. But when you do have those metrics involved, like, well, I can't hit this unless I have this. I can't hit this unless I have this. It automatically, and especially when it takes so long for a lot of people to even hit partner, to where it's like they're constantly looking at average, excuse me, average viewer. I'm so close. Average viewer. It's just like, it's going to be in your head, whether you're trying to like, man, just forget about it. Just forget about it. Especially when you get close, you know what I mean? Like when you're hitting like the upper 50s and 60s and stuff, you're like, now that's like all you're going to think about.
The important thing I think is like, you know, yes, follower number can be a number that some people are going to look at. It's just, you know, unfortunate. And Twitch has been good at kind of moving it around. I mean, I don't know if you remember the old layout of Twitch where it just had the exact number sitting at the top of your channel, whereas now, you know, they've got it generally, it's down there, and then at some point it just stops rounding it up to rough numbers. You know, I think it's over like 1,000, it just rounds it up. So it's a little bit easier. And obviously they've also hidden the amount of channels that you follow, because it used to show how many you were following as well. And that's
right.
I don't even know if you can find that anywhere now. I have no idea how many channels I follow.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right. That was always weird. It had how many you were following. I mean, it was set up like most social media pages. And,
Yeah.
you know,
followers
it's
and
turned
following.
into its own thing now. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of moved it. But I think a lot of the time follower number is almost just an indication of how long you've been on the site. Like,
Yeah, because like I
putting-
treat follow number almost like a like button in some
Yeah.
cases. It's like, oh, this, like if we raid somebody or something, it's like, oh yeah, I dig them. Hit a follow. I may or may not ever go back. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And here's the thing to really put in context. Like I said, like at the moment I'm saying around 3.8K. But in terms, if we boil that down to what my average viewership is, it's less than 1% of that, right? My average viewership is not that different to like other people with much less followers. And on the other hand, I've seen people with more followers that have less viewers, or, you know, sometimes I know people that have much less followers. I mean, I've seen people under 1,000 that get much more concurrent viewers than I do. It really doesn't matter that much. And the reason that my follower count is high or higher than, you know, other people with the same sort of concurrent viewership is I've just been on the platform for so long. You know, I've been doing this for 5 years almost. Like it's been a long time. And the thing is as well is it's that my content, my channel has evolved so much over that time that the people that maybe wanted to watch me play Destiny 1 with a crappy face cam and a headset mic on a PlayStation
Trials
4.
helps.
Yeah, right.
Those are
That
the days.
that has changed. Like the content's completely different now. You know, we do GeoGuessr and fucking whatever comes up. So it's like you're
Gardic phone.
yeah, exactly. So some of those people that were watching you originally, your content's evolved, and that's gonna happen with everyone. Everyone's gonna just evolve and change and things. And maybe those people aren't gonna click unfollow, but they're just not gonna scroll down to the bottom of their following page. You know, if they're following a bunch of other people, they're just gonna, you know, go to the ones that they most likely watch.
Yeah, if you just kind of like look at yourself and be like, oh, over this past couple years, you know, I've noticed I've changed a bit. You know, my content's changed a bit. You should expect that, you know, your followers are going to change a bit with you, because that's, I mean, it just makes sense. You know, you're not going to maybe jive or vibe, and not necessarily in a bad way. It's just like, not really my thing. So, or something like that. It's not always a negative. Most of the time, I would say it's not a negative, and it's more just maybe follow people I follow purge that I don't really watch anymore. You know, so it's not. I would say most of the time the fluctuation is not even. It's not a negative thing. It's just a happenstance of the game type of thing.
Sure. I get it though. Like I've definitely been in that position where I've ended stream and you know, I've maybe looked at my dashboard and seen like, oh, you know, I have 5 less followers than I started out with today. And it's like, well, it feels bad. Like it does, straight up. There's no
Yeah.
there's no kind of getting around it. That feels bad. But that's the kind of test, I think, of, you know, if that's affecting you too much and you can't handle that, then maybe it's not for you, like, to be brutally honest, right? But
Yeah.
you know what? If you can stick it out and keep going, then that's your sign that this is something that you can do and you really want to do. Because, you know, the honest truth is that you're never, I think as a streamer, you're never going to be satisfied. I don't think it will ever matter. I sometimes catch myself and I sometimes think, man, like, you know, I have been doing this for so many years and, you know, maybe my channel's not grown to the size I wanted it to and I would still like it to. And I maybe see people that have started 6 months ago that are huge, that have just blown up on Twitch and get all these viewers. And it's like, it can get you down. But you have to put it in perspective and think like, man, I have X amount of people that show up to watch every day. And that's pretty amazing. Because you also have to remember there's always somebody looking at your channel thinking, damn, I wish I could get that many viewers, or I wish I had that kind of community. There's always someone looking and aiming to be to you and to get to your level, right? And you got to sometimes just look back and think, well, like, you know, maybe I'm not where I want to be yet, but you know,
I'm definitely
it takes
further along than I was.
100%. Again, I remember the first time I got rated with 10.
Take the win.
I got rated for 10 viewers, and I remember thinking, damn, that person that rated me, they're doing great. You know, they're doing, I couldn't imagine having double digits, right? I was like, this is crazy that this guy's rated me with 10, you know? And it's like, you know, now I'm sitting with what, maybe 15, 20. I can't possibly feel bad about that, you know? It's just getting that perspective, I think. And that follower number is going to change. If someone unfollows you, then that's fine. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect your content. As much as it can suck, you got to just not look at it. You got to power through and accept that follower number means nothing. There are so many followers that I have on my channel that don't come anywhere near my stream anymore. They just straight up don't, because they're from like 4 years ago. They probably don't even use Twitch anymore. It's like, it's almost someone I know, that we know, I'm not going to name because I don't want to out this person. I think they've spoke about it anyway, but they used to stream years ago. They had a bunch of followers and they took a very long break and then they came back to it. And then they decided, I don't want this follower count of, you know, inactive viewers. So they just purged it, removed all their followers so they could start fresh on the same channel. Just removed all those followers. That should show you how little it matters that follower count is there. I mean, Pidge, that we've had on the podcast, we discussed about how he accidentally removed all of his followers on his Twitch account.
Yep.
He's a wee fanny. But
Yeah.
look at how that worked out for him.
But the point is, yeah,
I'm
that
so
did
glad I know
not
that.
did not affect his concurrent viewership, right? It did not affect the growth of his channel.
Well,
And-
it did. It just didn't negatively impact.
Well, in his
If
case,
anything,
in
it
his
had a
case,
positive impact
in his case, it was a very good thing, and it did actually. He
Yeah.
turned that into a positive, and you
For
know,
sure.
he's doing fantastic. You know, he's gonna be partnered soon, like very soon, right?
Yeah, I
and you know, it shows that number doesn't mean anything.
And really the theme that we keep cycling back to here is perception, right? To look at it with a different sort of analogy, think about, you know, how many criminally underrated TV shows get canceled.
Yeah.
You know, the writing is amazing, casting is
Firefly.
amazing, the setting is amazing, and you're just like, why didn't that take off more? There's a million reasons why, but it doesn't negate the fact that it was still this pure nugget of joy. You know what I mean? And the thing is that also look at how many, you know, like television shows where the first season everyone's like, oh, I just get the first season. The second season, oh my god, it gets so good. You know, because like then you grow into it. You know, The Office, Parks and Rec, like, you know, there's so many instances where things that truly contain greatness don't get the recognition they so badly deserve.
Mhm.
And that forever be a shame? Yes, but that doesn't rob them of their greatness. And the things that have potential that will grow into that potential, they just you just need to keep working at it, and then you just need to find your stride with it, and eventually they take off. And it's just, we're just speaking about perception. I think that the best thing you can do is just keep looking at yourself with a critical eye. And I know feels like I'm just kind of stating the obvious here, but it's like, do you want to watch yourself? Like, I mean, are you
Every
doing
day.
something that you well, listen, when you
My
got that full
entire
length mirror
bedroom
installed
is
next
a
to your
mirror.
shower,
Hubs just has his old VODs on repeat
Every
on all the
wall,
TVs in the house.
ceiling, the floor, it's all mirrors in my bedroom.
it's very slippery in there.
That's for other reasons. though.
Normally.
No, you
But-
raise a
but-
good
but-
point there.
But yeah, just the idea is that, like, the only way that you'll really know if you're capitalizing on the potential that you have is if you should go back and you should look at some of your VODs. You should be going back and you should be looking at content. You should be asking people that you trust, and not just people that are gonna like be, to build you up for the sake of building you up, but people who will be honest with you. I mean, I'm very fortunate to have viewers that have become very close friends, that I can ask and will give me critical feedback, and I trust them implicitly because I know they'll fucking tell me straight up. Like, if I try a new thing and it is dumb, they'll say, "Hey, you tried a new thing. That's cool," but they won't sugarcoat it. They'll say, "Also, that was just kind of cringe, ain't it? Like, don't do that anymore." You need those people to be honest with you, and at the end of the day, you need to be honest with yourself. And just like, if you're producing something that is great and magical, but it's burning you the fuck out, then you need to be real with yourself. Like, how sustainable is this? Can I keep doing this? If you're doing something and it's just, you're moderately successful in it, and you're just kind of like falling into a rhythm where you're not trying to, you know, push yourself, and you just get really relaxed and it becomes like a very casual like thing for you, then you have to think like, you have to be content with whatever growth you are able to maintain if you're just coasting. Um, all of that's about perception, but it's really just about being honest with yourself. And I think if you can just surround yourself with people who will be honest with you back, people who do want to support you, people who are in your corner, but like, you know, you just have to be true to like what you want to do. And for some people, this is going to be a hobby, and for some people it's going to be a calling. You just got to figure out what you really want, and if you want it that bad, maybe you need to make some changes. Or maybe you are really doing great, and the fate just hasn't taken you by the hand.
Yeah.
And that's
See,
that's
I
just the
think
way of
what Grog
things.
said was the key point. Like what everyone talks about, like I kind of it applies to this topic specifically as well, but also like for like just growth, like how do you grow your channel, whatever. Like the key to people will give away like, oh, you got to do this network, blah 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 blah. The key takeaway is what Grog just said. You have to be introspective. You will
Look at
not.
his face.
Oh, pancakes! Did you get pancakes
Shh,
and
go on.
sausage?
Go on.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that's great.
That has
You
to be a
have to-
meme right there.
It's delicious. Oh my gosh! Someone clip it. Clip
Yeah,
it,
I
please.
want a gif
Picture.
of Grog eating the sausage.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god! Thank you. Yeah.
With that like ridiculous grin on his face. He's just like,
Love it. Those pancakes look amazing. Is that brown
totally-
sugar or cinnamon?
Shh. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted.
Anyway,
yeah,
like
yeah.
like Grog says,
are
you
you
have
hungry?
to be introspective. You have to look at yourself. You have to look at your channel. You have to do that. You can't have someone else tell you what's right. I mean, without wanting to look for it yourself. If you can't find if you can't look and find and see with a critical eye, like Grog says, what you want in your own channel, what you're doing, if you can't see something and try to go and fix it, you're not gonna grow because it's just not you're not gonna see it because you're not aware of the issues. And even if people tell you issues, whether you're open to them or not, you're not going to fully be invested into their suggestion, their ideas. You're not going to may even believe it because you're like, whatever, it seems fine to me, because you're not looking at it through that eye. You
That's
have
the thing
to
is, if you
have a
get good
business
feedback from
eye.
people, if you get really good feedback from people, you also have to be aware enough to see that yes, this was in fact good
Mhm.
feedback. You
Mhm.
needed to act on it, because if you there are so many ideas that I've added into my channel, from color palettes to changes to my overlay to channel point redemptions to all that stuff, that were mined from people around me.
Yeah.
People had these brilliant ideas and they were offering them to me. But if I didn't have the energy or the motivation to capitalize on it, and I simply said, "Oh yeah, that'd be cool to do sometime," period, and then like full stop, and then I never pursue it, then I wouldn't be where I'm at currently, being able to reap the benefit of all these improvements and changes. And like, so you have to also be willing to accept when someone says, hey, you could be doing this better, and they're not being mean about it, they're just being matter of fact, and they're trying to be supportive. You need to have thick enough skin to recognize, yeah, you're right, I could be doing this differently, I could be doing this better. And that's hard. That's so fucking hard. It doesn't get any easier. It doesn't, there's so many other
Especially
interpersonal
if this is
issues.
something you really like, this is your calling and you really want to do.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so hard because you're like, this is my baby. This is like what I'm trying to put what's in my mind on here, and this is my creation. And someone, in your mind shits on it, even though it's just like probably a positive critique of making it better. You don't see it that way. You see it as an attack on your creation, and it's a hard place to get out of. But you
100%.
have to. You have to. 'Cause
The
once
other-
you get there, that's when the numbers don't matter, because you're not looking at it in that way. You're looking at it in a different way.
The other answer is just to do what I'm planning, which is to just hire a hot tub and just hot tub stream.
Oh, okay.
Then you'll get
Damn.
loads of followers. You'll be fine. Like, for real, my wife is trying to convince me to do
My
that.
wife.
She
My
said,
wife.
we'll just get
My
like
wife.
an inflatable paddling pool in your
Oh my
office.
God.
I was like,
That
no,
is a
no,
full
no.
freaking jacuzzi tub for you.
That's like the deep end in the
Like,
local
you should
pool for
definitely
you.
have like lifeguard on duty signs.
That's Dale.
Just with my my armbands on,
Your
my
arm
water wings.
floaties. Oh my God, Condi, if you don't fucking do this, I swear to God.
We'll set a
Oh
sub
my
goal.
goodness.
I can't be
Gotta
cheap.
Oh
Mankini, though,
Jesus,
'cause
this is a
you're
community
allowed to have
challenge.
nips on Twitch.
Say again?
One of them
Just
nips.
have the square, the cross, the
No,
plus
but
signs.
if in the context,
Yeah,
if I'm in a
pasties and
hot
start
tub,
body painting.
if I'm in a hot
Oh, if
tub,
you're in
I'm
a
pretty
hot
sure
tub,
it's okay.
absolutely. Yeah,
Context.
you're fine. You can have bathing suits on.
Yeah, situational context.
That's right.
I'll be wearing my
Speedo.
yeah.
You're in Europe. That's what you guys do, right?
Yeah.
I think it's called a budgie smuggler.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The budgie smuggler. No, but for real though, like it's there's things that you need to evaluate again. If you're not experiencing like growth in follower numbers that you want, right? And again, we've said, it's not really important. To an extent, it feels good to get followers, and if somebody new comes by and follows, there's a higher chance they're going to come back again rather than somebody who's just hanging out and doesn't follow, right? Maybe, like we said, change it up. Look at what you're streaming. I hate to say it, but if you're streaming Apex or Warzone or Fortnite or something like that that's super popular, growth is going to be difficult. It's going to be extremely difficult because you're right down there at the bottom of the directory. Even with 100 viewers playing Warzone, it's going to be tough to be discovered, right?
Yeah.
Because all the top channels have got thousands and thousands. You're getting buried, right? But you got to watch, because I've fallen into this trap before where I said I'm switching games and I'll switch to a less saturated category, have a few good streams. Hey, we're gaining a lot more followers now. But then I don't really want to play that game. So when I go back to Warzone or Apex, all those people just go, oh, he quit fucking, I don't know,
Destiny.
My Little Pony's adventure. Like, he quit that game. So we're back to this game. I'm just going to unfollow again, right? I've seen it happen. It's difficult. So, you know, if that's something that really matters to you, have a look at what you're streaming. Have a look at other directories. You know, a big thing someone told me once was look at what's, you know, popular on like Steam, for example. Because Steam's got those kind of leaderboards that shows you what are the most popular games, what are the most downloaded games, and then, you know, cross-reference those with the Twitch directories. If you can find a game that's really popular on Steam, but isn't that popular on Twitch, maybe that's your market. If it's a game
Or
that
just
fits
look at data across, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
these
And
small,
use-
like
use something
Valheim's,
like,
these small games are blowing up. Or what Selena did. That movie came out about chess, and
Yeah.
everyone wanted to watch chess on Twitch. So
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, just look at weird kind of like freakonomic
could-
type stuff.
Yeah, you could try and predict the trend, and you could use tools like twitchtracker.com. Twitch has its API available, and all of your information except for your subs is scraped by that website on the regular. If you've never, ever once looked yourself up on Twitch Tracker, and you're concerned about growth, and you're concerned about how you're doing, past and present, you should be looking at that at least once, because you can see how your hours watched compares to your, you know, follows. It'll even break down like when you've played X game, how many followers do you get when you stream just that game, exclusively that game, versus any other game that you've played. And you can start picking out trends. Those trends that you chase don't have to be some sort of like popularity contest where
Mhm.
you're just glomming onto the next big thing. You can use the data to like isolate trends for yourself within your own stream. How do you see growth happening? When, for me, I noticed that a lot of the games that I played, when I checked Twitch Tracker, a lot of them had more people broadcasting the game on a Friday than there were viewers viewing, as compared to a Monday where there were less channels broadcasting those same games, but more people watching. And I was like, well, I'm not going to stream Fridays. Like, I mean, like my schedule permitted me to do that. And I have seen that I have my average followership and my average engagement on Mondays is historically higher than it ever was on Fridays. And some of that is just a metric. You know, Fridays, it's like people are gearing up for the weekend. They do grocery shopping. They get off work early. They make plans with friends or family.
They're watching me play Danganronpa.
Yeah, they're watching Eve with bated breath,
Yeah.
almost like
When's
like
the internet
in
gonna
a
cut out?
threatening manner. Like, people actually threaten her if she doesn't play Danganronpa. They're
Yeah.
gonna, like, you know, hold their breath until they turn red. I don't know, but yeah, like, you should check your own stats. Check to see how you have set trends within your own channel, and maybe pursue that. You know, times a day. When you stream, if you do morning streams and sometimes evening streams, which one are you performing better in? You know,
100%.
figure that stuff out.
100%.
And if you can lean into it, all the better. You know, and
Yes,
and
that's another
even
thing. It's
then-
not only it's if you want to, because
Yeah.
I actually did the same thing. I looked at my tracker stuff and I noticed I actually gained way more viewership, way more follows when I played Warzone. I like Destiny. You know what I mean? It's not that I don't like Warzone, but I think after I looked at that, for a while I was at least streaming Warzone once a week. You know, incorporating it in there, but Warzone's not my main game. And even though I was doing better follows and viewership wise, it's not my main game, and it's not a game I want. You know, so you have to look at that and be like, well, do I want to maybe incorporate it once a week or every now and then to maybe see if I can gain a little bit every now and then or something? But I mean, then you look at it, it's like, well, if they're following, they're probably watching Warzone, which isn't even my main game anyway. It's like, I don't know, I'll take the hit and just focus on Destiny or something. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to look at it.
Yeah, and I mean it can suck. I mean, I've had, you know, times where people will say like, "Oh, hey, what are you playing today?" And it's like it's one of the worst things, especially when I'm in my intro and I've not even had a chance to talk yet. Someone will be like,
Yeah.
"What are you playing today?" And I'll be like, Apex," and they're gone. They're out. They're, you know, straight away. And it's like, You know, like it's one of those things that's it's just really difficult. We had a question in chat from Ginger, saying there's really successful streamers that have got no regular game and their community are just aware and knows not to expect that. How do we have any suggestions on how to communicate that you're a variety streamer? So I mean, my thoughts on that are, it's tough, right? It's very tough, especially if you started as a single game streamer. I think it's kind of widely accepted that you will grow faster as a single game streamer, right? Because you can get into a community of people that are just obsessed with that game, that know that you're going to be playing that game every day or every time you're live. It's going to be faster to grow that way. It just is. That's the general rule anyway, as far as I can tell, as far as I can see. Doing variety is more difficult, way more difficult, because there are people that are there just to watch gameplay. You know, there's people that aren't interested in interacting with the community and all that. They just enjoy watching the gameplay. There's a couple of ways I think you can do it. If you're maybe moving from a single game to variety, which is kind of what I did, you just do it gradually. You introduce new stuff here and there in between it. You know, maybe that could be a day, switching per day what game you play, or maybe it could be half a stream of one game, half a stream of the other game, and do it slowly and gradually. I mean, I was Destiny 100% when I started. That's all I did was Destiny. And frankly, I think I had about the same average viewership back in Destiny 1 than I do now, right? Like it's not, that to me shows that I played Destiny 1 every single day and I grew at what I would say was a pretty good rate. And switching to variety, it's definitely been slower, but I value the community that I have much more now. And I think for me, one of the reasons is that the content that I stream on my channel isn't purely about the game. It's about the community as a whole and more about, they know to expect me doing dumb shit in a game, trying to add, these funny in-jokes that we have. And even just like you guys, knowing that, hey, at least once or twice a week, you're going to see me play with like Humps or Grog or Eve or Cyber or whoever, right? And we have the same kind of rapport and banter each time. And it's, it's much more about me and the people I play with than the game itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's an important part of it. The game, obviously, it always is going to be part of it. Always going to be part of it. But if you're doing variety, you can't just sit there in silence and play a different game every day. You gotta
the way you've described
make
it,
the
Condi,
focus.
the recipe for success is really just your contentment with yourself, the community that you have at the moment, and the people that you're playing with.
Yep.
Because it's like that's the magic recipe. The recipe isn't chasing the next hot release. The recipe isn't I mean, you can do those things, but like no one person wants to do the same thing. Some people will
Preach, baby. You getting it.
Some people
baby.
will be like a Call of Duty streamer and they've been a Call of Duty streamer for 15 years. Like for some people they can do that, but like that is a hard commit. And you have to really want it. If your heart's not in it, if the moment your heart's not in anything, people know. It's such an easy tell when you're just trying to like power through for the sake of just getting it over with, than if you're actually just really having fun. And often when you're really having fun, and let's say you're watching a channel and they go and raid another channel and you arrive and your first impression there is like, holy shit, everyone's just having a really good time. I really dig what's going down here. Like that to me is always more of a thumbs up, like I'm really excited about this and I want to check this person out, than, oh fuck, they're playing the hot new game. Because you know what? I can go on Twitch and I can find 1 million people playing that hot new game.
Yeah.
What like the person behind it, the people surrounding it, the community that is living and breathing that space.
That is the goal.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want to be happy at the end of the day. You want your community to enjoy you being happy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, why fucking do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Go do something else.
literally, it's so much easier ways if you're looking fucking rich. Yeah, start on Twitch, you fucking idiot. You're stupid.
Yeah. Totally
Say
true.
that with love.
Scott asked a question in chat that like we've touched on before, but I really want to hammer home. he says, is it worth putting up a schedule in your about section, detailing what and when you're playing in the coming week? Some people I know will like a good example I can think of is there's a streamer by the name of T-Rex. T-Rex is really good about putting a schedule up for the month. There's someone who will have posted either on Twitter or on their Discord or on their Twitch page. They have like a little widget, and you can see what they're going to play on like a Tuesday, third week of the month. That requires more planning than some people are comfortable with. I personally can't do that. I have a roster of things that I kind of float between, and I kind of decide on the day. And sometimes I'll just get up and like an hour before I'm about to go live, I get a message from one of these, four goons, and somebody's like, "Yo, you want to play blank today with me?" And I'm like,
Love
"Yeah,
playing blank with you. Love it.
I wasn't gonna do, I wasn't gonna do that today. Like when I was gonna go live, I was planning on playing, I don't know, this other game. But because you've asked, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. It even if you don't have a schedule that is that granular, where you can say, okay, on the third Tuesday of the month, I'm playing this, at least having a schedule that is relatively consistent, that people know the time of day and day of the week. And it's hard to nail this down. It's really hard if you have a family, if you have obligations, if you have a job, if that isn't, pursuing this, isn't content creation in some way, shape, or form. Like, it is incredibly hard to nail down consistency. But I do think that there is definite potential for faster growth. And I don't mean faster like light speed fast, but I just mean that you will have better momentum going forward if there are just days of the week and times of the day that people can expect to find you going live, even if they don't know what necessarily is on your palette,
The
what you'll be
docket
painting
for
with
the
that
day.
Exactly. They just know, okay, Eve streams on these days. I can expect on a Friday to find her at this time doing this thing. And you know what helps? I'm a retired librarian. One of the things that I had to do with the library was we did event planning, and we had regular programming. The key for programming is this: when you have a one-off event, there is every possibility that you will get that event advertised and in front of the right number of eyes and advertised to the right number of people, and they'll say, fuck yeah, that looks cool, I'm going to attend that. And you know what? Something comes up in their personal life, something comes up in their schedule, and they miss it. But something that does happen with recurring events is this: when you have a program that appears weekly or monthly or bi-monthly or daily,
Or a
then
weekly
it gives,
podcast.
yeah, what it does is it gives people the latitude and it gives them the permission to miss it. But it does so with the caveat, I can catch it next time. And it's one of those things where you can rely on it. The farmer's market down the road, you may not go to every Saturday when it's open, but you know that it's there. And there's a peace of mind and a comfort in that because you know that it's there when you want it. So for example, if somebody comes by your stream and they stop by a few times and they're just like, it happens to be when they get off work, happens to be when they're cooking dinner, they put up their iPad, they put up their phone while they're like, chopping up their onions or whatever and getting their dinner ready. Like that can become, you can become part of their routine, right? So for the longest time, before I streamed regularly, consistently, I watched Humps and I watched Condi and I watched Cyber sometimes because his schedule is erratic.
I.e. he never streams.
You said back then.
He's only streamed 3 times since we've known him.
I have streamed 6 times this month. It's the 11th of April.
but my wife is saying don't pander to the farmers market crowd. It's not cute.
My wife.
So listen, the point is for me, my introduction to Condi and Humps, because they would often be doing Destiny together at the same time, running the same. They'd be doing competitive grinding in PvP. Like I would sit down at my lunch break at 11 a.m. just as he was going live or had just gone live, either of them, and I would eat my lunch. And every day, that's what I did. Whenever one of them was streaming, I ate my lunch and I watched them. And that became habit for me. And I became a regular because of it. Because I saw the value they had and I made it work within my own schedule. If you can set a schedule for your viewers, you build up a set of expectations that can be stressful because then it's like, well, shit, now people are relying on me. If you skip a day, it's really easy to beat yourself up. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole other topic for a different podcast. But the point is, like, having an expectation means that people look forward to something, right? So, like, having the program at the library or having the reoccurring weekly event down the road, whatever it may be, people can look forward to it even if they're not going to it the next day or that week. They know it's there, and it's comforting to know that it's there, and they can revisit it anytime they want. And so, yeah, I don't know. Have a
I
schedule.
I think I might move to the Ludwig schedule.
24/7.
As long as people keep giving you money, you'll stay alive.
Is that motherfucker still going?
Yep.
I mean, if you think about it, it's a pretty sweet business plan.
He has been live for what, 28 days? Yeah, 28 days. He started
Who's a
four.
zombie?
He started 4 weeks ago today, and has
did
not
you
stopped.
see that
Yeah,
it
I
went
did that
to
too,
1
and nobody
second?
talked about it.
It went down to 1 second,
Yeah.
and he wasn't even at his fucking PC. He was taking a shit somewhere, and it literally dropped down to 1 second.
It's
and then it went
been-
up to like 15 minutes or something.
It's been
like that.
incredible to watch.
But see, some of this is also just the anomaly of like it's the internet and people do
That's
shit
true.
for memes.
Especially now, that's like 90%.
Oh, there's a
of it.
huge meme. That's
Giant
the whole
asterisks
point.
next to it. Don't rely on memes for sources of income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me what to do. You're not my real
I
mom.
mean,
The-
you can, I guess, if can supply you income for the a while.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess
The-
he's set for a couple of years.
The reason I wanted to kind of bring that up again is because, well, first of all, I did not expect it to still be going. I remember looking
what
at
she
it
said.
last weekend and saying, I think it's going to end today, last Saturday or something. And here it is. What I thought was interesting was he is actually starting to approach Ninja's record for highest ever subscribed channel.
I think he just passed it. If
I-
I saw the
no
number
way.
correctly.
He was over 200K yesterday, which is mind-blowing. Over 200,000 subs. Ninja's was
Oh
like
my God.
260, 270K.
All right. I think I just seen 250 odd K there.
I don't know, but the thing that's fascinating to me is that I never thought that record would get beaten. Ninja had the perfect storm of Fortnite, Twitch Prime, right?
Yep.
He was in the perfect position for that to happen, right? And that record of 260, 270K, I was honestly expecting that would not get beaten for a very,
Ever.
very long time. Because number 2 was like, was it Ranbu with like 120K or something? 150? I don't know. It's still an insane
It was
amount.
like half. It was almost less than
Yeah.
half.
Yeah, but like Ninja's was so unfathomably large in terms of that. Yeah, okay, I mean, like over a quarter
know
of a
what you mean.
million, right? And I just think it's
Oh, wow.
amazing that a streamer with, I mean, let's face it, when Ninja had that record, he was averaging 150,000 viewers a stream. So Ludwig's is maybe a third of that viewer base, and he's very close to that record. I just
But also
It's
think
insane.
about how think about the difference though. Like the key difference here is yes, Ninja was sort of at the center of this like hurricane of popularity, this perfect storm situation, as you describe it. But the thing is, Ludwig, his trajectory right now is based on the premise that we talked about last week that he's been pursuing this last month, which is he's on a sub train. As long as people keep subbing, time keeps getting added onto a clock. As long as the clock still has time, he keeps streaming. So literally for the lulls, people are keeping him hostage on
yes,
stream.
yeah.
And he's making a fuck ton of money laughing all the way to the bank doing it. And I'm sure it's a quote unquote exhausting, but I mean, making hundreds of thousands of dollars in a single month doesn't sound all that bad. But here's the key difference: Ninja was at that point doing his normal shtick. He was doing regular long streams. I mean, he did like what, like 8-hour streams.
He did a
9 hour
couple
yeah.
streams a day. I think he would do like a morning
he,
stream.
he
and
would
an
do he
afternoon.
would do chunks
Exactly.
and then like take a break, have a meal, whatever. But like he was grinding, but he was playing the game and he was engaging people and he was playing what people wanted to see and he was being himself, right? And at that moment, that's what people wanted to see. The thing with Ludwig is he brilliant in what he did? Absolutely. Is he going to be hella successful in terms of like making income off of this? Absolutely. But people are doing the thing to Ludwig and pushing him up into that tier for laughs. Like you
Yeah.
said,
It's
Cyber
not-
pointed
it's
out,
not the
it got down
same.
to 1 second and people gifted 100 subs. I mean, one
Yeah.
person has gifted like 500 subs to him.
Oh,
Or more.
no.
No.
It's like
it 5,000?
6,500. The
Yeah.
top gifter is
From
currently.
one
But that's
person?
that's
From one
slight.
One person.
So that's
Yeah, it
his
is
that's
slight.
his roommate.
I want that person's kind of money.
So the point that I wanted to land on after all this was what happens in 30 days when none
They
of
go
those
away.
subs are renewed.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course.
He
Yeah.
gets
Yeah.
it
He
all
will
in
have made-
$100 bills.
He would have, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's gonna be fine, and it doesn't matter if his sub count drops back down to whatever it was prior to this whole
Which it
media
will.
stunt, which it will. And you know what? He'll maintain a percentage.
Yeah.
You know, he'll have growth and come out of that, and he'll have new followers as a result. Some people will continue subbing, but like, let's be honest, he's not going to be at that level that Ninja was.
Nobody
then.
can be. I mean, Ninja's obviously nowhere near the level. he
And the
was
only
at
reason
that
why I
time.
cycled back to that, Connie, is just because the numbers are a concept. They're just
Yes.
an abstract idea that, do they have value? Yes. Are they a metric that you can judge success by? Yes, to a degree, but within context. And if you strip away context, the numbers could very well mean nothing.
Mhm.
So don't like tie your heart around those numbers and let it like drag you down, as much as it also may lift you up when you like suddenly are doing really well and then you also see it take a dip. Like it just, that's not the metric of success.
100%.
Yeah,
We've all had good months, bad months. I mean, you see that sub count fall, that follower count fall. That's the nature of the business, right? It's ups and downs. That's what live streaming and content is. Absolutely. Well done tying it back around, Grog.
Well done.
This.
I think that's about it for this week. Cyber, where can everybody find you on the internet?
I think I say this every single time.
I always ask the
You can-
question in a way where it's kind of built for you to answer with an OnlyFans joke. You know what I mean? saying where can people find you on the internet, I feel like it's just asking for it.
So you've
Yeah.
kind of ruined the surprise. I didn't want to really introduce it this way, but I do now have an OnlyFans. It is
Yes.
onlyfans.com/sahumps. Go
Oh,
there, find some tool pics.
wait, what? Those are private DMs, brother.
They were,
Oh,
not
okay.
anymore.
As long as I'll take 50% of
This is
it.
the weirdest revenge porn.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. You can find me on all major platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Unholy Cyber. I have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off next week. There is a big thing happening on Friday. I am getting married again, so Mary can get a green card.
nice.
So,
Hey, congratulations.
so I've taken like the tail end of the week, so I have a lot of free time. So let's play some Rocket League. Let's play some Apex.
Nice.
Cyber, before we move on, I'm springing this on you guys. Do you have a recommendation? Anything?
For
Anything?
These
yeah, do you like dragons? Because I'm about to
The
drag
fuck
these
is-
nuts all over your face.
It's so odd you said that, because that's literally the third time I've heard this joke since yesterday.
It's like the only one that I know.
It's supposed to be who sings that? Condi, who sings that thunder? It goes like thunder, lightning. No. It's like
Thunder.
thunder.
Don't do it.
thunder,
He's setting up the bit.
lightning,
He's setting
something
up
like
the
that.
bit.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck is going on?
Then you say, "Oh, it's Imagine Dragons," and then you say, "Oh, Imagine face."
You cut out
Sick.
at the best time though.
Cyber side note, real quick. If you ever do an OnlyFans,
This is
the
Cyber's
name should
fault,
be
not mine. I didn't
Holy
do- Grog,
Cyber.
I feel like this is towards me. It's this isn't my fault.
Whole.
It's 100%
Quick, I
Condi's fault.
have a quick side story. Right, I'm just gonna.
I just wanted a recommendation of
This
anything.
is
A
such a good
game, a
outro.
book,
Episode
an
50,
article,
y'all. We fucking nailed the outro.
a YouTube channel, anything. I was just asking for if you had a rec for a book, anything. If you don't, say no. We'll move on. And this guy's talking about. I don't know.
Grog!
How's Grog? Tell everybody where.
You keep cutting out.
Because I don't know. It's not my fault.
It's because he
I
keeps
mean-
sniffing the damn microphone cover.
Rub these
It
balls
smells so
on it.
goddamn good.
That's why the mic keeps cutting. It's just covered in
For
hump
anyone
saliva.
watching or listening at a later date, I think you can now appreciate the name Zero Strategy.
Yeah.
This was the intention from the start.
100%.
Yeah,
Grog, you love it,
I do.
and I
damn
love
it.
you.
Grog,
me
where
too.
can
I
everyone
love
find
all
you?
of this. My name is Grog. You can find me online at twitch.tv/grogmode. I stream 5 days a week, Monday through Thursday. It's just me. I start at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and then on Saturdays I do a co-stream with my wife.
My wife.
And we do like narrative story and puzzle and horror games and stuff on the weekends. Yeah. So yeah, check me out. You can find me on most major platforms at gamer_grog for Twitter and the like.
Awesome. Eve, what about yourself?
You know. I'm yeah. I'm sorry. I was
Go on.
I was doing a quick search for what I was gonna play on Monday, and I got real distracted. Yeah, Metabot Eve. You can find me all over the place. I have a YouTube, but I haven't uploaded anything in a while. I'll work on that. Promise.
Well,
Yeah, you can
I'm
see me
gonna-
Monday,
It's a good
Wednesday,
sell.
Friday, and Saturday, and on here on Sundays. Ooh.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday,
You'll
Sunday.
buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
We're back to being a radio show again.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Zero Strategy Breakfast Show.
That could be an off topic.
Call in and tell us about your worst holiday experience.
Oh my god!
Oh dear. Hobbs, where can everyone find you?
Grog, I didn't ask you. Do you have a rec?
What
You got a
do you
rec?
mean? A rec?
Imagine
recommendation.
Me dragging
What?
my nuts across your
Anything.
keyboard.
He wants to start a
this-
book club.
A game, a book, an article.
Condi needs to fucking watch Akira.
I do.
Okay,
Yeah,
I do.
you
That's
stupid
good.
Wait,
ignorant.
Whoa.
I
If you
recommend
not
I
Condi
also
watch
haven't
one of the
watched
greatest fucking anime films of all time.
This isn't going over
I also
well.
haven't
This
watched
isn't
it.
going over well.
I'm just gonna end the stream.
Condi.
I'm just
Eve,
gonna end the
do you have a
stream.
rec? Rec, do you have a Eve rec?
Do you have an Eve? Rec,
With
do
it,
you have
I've
Eve?
got a recommendation. If anybody
I
likes
had a wreck
whiskey-
like
Thanks for
6
watching,
months ago when
everybody.
somebody
You
hit
know
the
what's
back
a
of my
wreck?
car at
You
a
know what? This
stoplight.
fucking podcast.
You can find me, Sir Humps everywhere. Sir Humps _ on Twitter. I'm gonna be streaming this week Destiny. I will be doing an Outriders. I'm gonna be playing some Outriders, maybe with Condi. We'll figure some
Yeah.
shit
Yes, please.
out. Okay, me and Condi sometime this week. Let's
Thanks for the
see.
invite.
Yeah.
Do you have
I'll
a rec?
be- I do have a rec. I've had my buddy. He came to stay this weekend, and we downloaded and played Mother Russia Bleeds. It is a side scroller. It takes you back to like those old side scroller, like Last Action Hero, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like those old
Ooh.
school.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a fun game. You deal with like you have like this. It's like this drug that's taken over these Russian mafia and stuff, and you go and beat people
Called
up, and you have to
vodka.
juice yourself up. But it actually has a pretty intense like core value thing because it's basically about overcoming drug addiction. So it was actually a pretty cool, pretty cool game. We bought it and we stayed up till about 3 o'clock in the morning beating it. So it's fun.
Yeah, that
Nice.
sounds cool. Hell yeah.
Condi, what
Condi.
about you?
Yeah, you can find me everywhere. Condi Fly. I will be streaming a bunch of stuff. I'm thinking. Well, tomorrow I believe we're apexing myself, Grog, and Pigeon, which will be fun. Tuesdays when I'm thinking we'll do the Rocket League tryouts for the team. So if you're interested in
Okay.
being in my Rocket League team,
I want to be on your team so bad.
We're gonna do tryouts on
Oh,
Tuesday.
yeah.
And then, yeah, at some point later in the week, like Thursday, Friday, we have the showdown, which will be a lot of fun. I
Wait,
also,
what day is that?
well, you said you're only around Thursday or Friday, right?
Yeah.
So one of those days we'll work out.
Oh, I thought you said a specific one. I was like, oh, fuck. I got distracted. I'm
Just
Downloading
Eve, just listen.
Scooby-Doo game. I'm downloading a Scooby-Doo game. Fuck off.
This is why I try and keep the podcast to an hour, right? This is what happens when we let it run too long.
We've
love
never
I've had-
made this an hour.
I've had
It's
comments
never been
before.
an
The
hour.
best.
never been
These
an
are
hour.
the
You're
best,
full of
and you
shit.
know it. This is episode 50.
I've had comments before about me trying to wrap up the show. There's a reason. That's all I'm saying.
Coming up with different topics.
One of you guys bring the topic next week.
No.
Okay.
No.
I uploaded two YouTube videos this past week, and I've got more coming as well. So check that out. More importantly,
all right.
more importantly, check out the podcast. If you've been listening on an audio platform, first of all, I'm so sorry. Second of all, we do this live on Twitch. It's a lot of fun. We have a really, I want to say a very, very nice community that are all very supportive of each other and definitely don't make fun of each other in any way.
We want to say that.
And thirdly, if you've watched all 50 episodes, you knew what the fuck to expect. So no
Yeah.
apologizing.
If you can
Alright.
prove to us
Catch up.
that
They're on
you've
YouTube.
watched all 50 episodes, then I will.
If you have,
If only because we
send
don't
us a
have all
link.
50
Let us
on
know.
YouTube,
Have
so,
you
know.
watched? Let us know on Twitter. You can find us Zero Strategy Podcast on Twitter. If
That's
you
right.
have watched every episode of the podcast, tweet at us.
Someone in chat just asked, can people pay
Why
bits
was
to buy their way onto the Rocket League team? Arcade
Yes.
Riot, yes, absolutely they can. Yes,
Just a
I have
disclaimer, there is no
very-
prize for having watched all 50 episodes.
Oh yeah,
I have very
some
loose
toe
morals,
Decoration.
and
you get some
I
toe picks.
am willing to
I
be
watched
bribed.
all 50.
We're gonna go raid someone. Yeah, again, check out the podcast, Twitter, Spotify, Twitch. If you like what you hear, all the old episodes are on Spotify. YouTube, we've more or less abandoned at this point, but I'm sure we'll catch up at some point. Thank you for watching. We hope you've had fun, because we have, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.